John.
You're hot, you play the guitar. I have a thing for musicians.
While the pair may look like your average couple from the outside, the way their relationship functions has shocked many.
I actually had like childhood friends
Homie kind of does look like Nessa a little bit.
straight out telling me that I've lost my dignity as a woman. Did you like choose this?
Right, so her friends from when she was young are asking her if she chose to be in a traditional relationship and that it's somehow like disgusting or, you know, degrading to do so. And look at her house. Beautifully clean, the tables look great, everything is neat and orderly.
Or did it just happen?
Why is it that John can sleep with other women?
Can we cut?
So she doesn't like it, but she accepts it, okay. So maybe she doesn't like the guy, but she respects him. I've said it many times. Love is actually not about liking. It's actually about respect.
Oh my God.
So,
Oh my God.
here's a little dress. And here's another dress that's shorter. And then I have this.
Yeah, let's go green today. I think
The green today?
That's gonna be the one.
So we're going green today, yay! So I like my husband to pick
Bro, that level of micromanagement is annoying, dude. Like, I don't want that much control over my own life, let alone a whole ass other adult's life. You know what I mean?
You're a man. So, like, again, men and women are different. So when a girl really respects a guy, she defers to him in everything, right? And that's what you're seeing there.
That sucks. That sucks so bad. What the
For a man,
fuck?
right.
up my clothes because I like pleasing him, so I
You
like
see?
to look hot for him. I feel
Exactly.
a lot more confident when he picks out my clothes because then I know that I'm actually wearing what he likes. Hey everyone, my name is Monica and I live to please my husband John.
We have a traditional marriage, and I'm the man, and I make the.
Motherfucker said Hassan's a bottom confirmed. Why? Because if I'm in a fucking long-term committed relationship that's monogamous, I don't want to fucking pick out my wife's clothing every morning. That's insane.
It's not insane. It's not. And in fact, it's very respectful. The girl asks you, what do you want me to wear? And you actually answer. And then she experiences delight because she knows that she's pleasing you. And because she loves you and respects you, she wants to please you. There's nothing wrong with this. This is what it's supposed, look at how, like, yeah, anyway. If you look at the girl's face though, she looks sad. So maybe she got into this relationship because it's the best she could do. She actually wanted even better, but she wasted her time. It's possible. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, hit that sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content. Actually, I've changed my Patreon, so it's a work in progress, but I have 3 sections now, okay? So the first one is videos I've been forced to delete from YouTube. I'm gonna do a curated list of literature, like books that I'm gonna read, like ebooks, audiobooks. And I'm also going to read scientific literature, you know, psychology, sociology, evolutionary biology, that sort of stuff. And you'll see where I get my ideas from. And I'll explain them, okay? So those are the 3 sections. And so anyway, check out my Patreon there. It's a work in progress. Right now I only have the deleted videos. But I'm going to start filling out those sections as we go, all right? And of course, you could also drop me a donation, like Tom M here. Shoutouts to him. All right, let's continue.
We've been together, what, 6 years now?
6 years, yeah. I've always had a submissive side since I can remember, and I've always been drawn to assertive and dominant males.
Anybody who's been with a woman knows they don't know what the heck to wear, right? I like Monica to dress feminine, but nice.
I enjoy being a traditional housewife.
That's it? There was more to that statement. Why'd they cut it out?
They probably cut out the word SEXY, probably. But Yeah, that's why they cut it out, because if they're showing this to a certain audience, maybe they wouldn't appreciate that, right? But I mean, you can see, right? Look at the amenities she has. Look at how clean it is. Look at how nice it looks there. Like, they live in a giant house. Like, again, if... Sorry, guys, if you can hear me coughing, I'm a little sick. If you can hear... if the price that you have to pay is submission to get this result, a lot of girls will do it. And the reason is because women in relationships are pragmatic. So...
I like Monica to dress feminine, but nice.
Wife, because that's my love language. I love to make people I love feel good. It's not like I'm a hopeless little girl. It's not about that. It's just he's assertive, and I like that in a man.
Oh, perfect. Nice.
Oh, you're welcome. For myself, I have certain rules where, you know, keep him happy. So my mom, she taught me how to cook, how to clean, how to be a good wife, how to please my man, and she also told me be in good shape and look pretty, because nobody wants a fat and ugly wife.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Hey babe.
Okay, this dude is living the incel dream, dude.
No, he's not. This is not, like, what? Yeah, the I-cell dream, right? Because he has a submissive, feminine, traditional housewife. Yeah, such a bad thing. Okay, Hasan.
Straight up, the incel dream, dude. He's got his little toys. He's on the computer all the time, and his wife is like unconditionally trying to satisfy him every step of the way.
What again? Like, look at what the guy is providing. Just look at what he's providing. This is a giant house. Like, look at his back. This guy works out constantly. This is not some average schlub. This is a top tier guy. Like, if that's what you have to trade, that's what you have to trade.
Hey babe.
Hey babe.
What you want for breakfast today?
Would you mind making some pancakes?
Yeah, sure. Want some whipped cream with the pancake?
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, those pancakes are dog shit, bro.
What? No, she's making crepe. That's how you do it traditionally in France. Excuse me? Hasan, you don't even know. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow.
The fuck?
Would you mind making some pancakes?
Yeah.
Bro, look at those cakes, bro.
Those are called
See,
crepes.
You can't have it all, boys. You see that?
No,
you see
that's how you do it.
That's a crepe, brother. That's not a pancake.
That's a pancake.
Want
It's
some
just made in French style.
whipped cream with the pancake?
Hell yeah. Let's make some bacon too. Awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
Love you.
Love you. I try to make him happy the whole day, you know, throughout the day, and he does the same for me.
That's
so,
wonderful.
Yeah, I would say 98% of my day evolves around my husband, which I love.
I
That's
take care of
great.
everything that has to do with finances, making sure the bills are paid on time. It feels pretty natural to make most of the decisions. I'm more of a bulls by the horn kind of guy, whereas Monica doesn't like conflict and stuff like that.
Why is it that John can sleep with other women?
Yo! Okay, she's not into that.
Obviously, she doesn't like it. Like, girls don't like competition like that. Of course not. That's normal. Like, yeah, girls, like, they are serially monogamous and men are polygamous. So naturally, the bedroom fun strategies of men and women are competitive. No girl is going to like you sleeping with other girls. But if she's getting enough benefit, she'll tolerate it. That's how it goes, guys.
Come on, dude. No shot. That seems like the dynamic there where there's actually most conflict.
Of course.
Truly, producers are actual demons, by the way. He went straight for it. He didn't even butter her up. He didn't come in with like anything else. Like, oh, how do you feel about him picking your clothes? Or like, does that feel good? Does that feel bad? Like, John fucks other women. You can't. What's up with that?
Can we cut? Yeah.
So the sleeping with other women thing, first of all, it's a really small part of our relationship. Monica was cool with it, and I was cool with it, and I think It's a luxury I have that probably most guys watching this wish they had, just because of like genetic programming. If you look at all other mammals, how they
Oh my god. Okay, dude. This is hitting like every Reddit talking point for me. Okay, this is firing off the Reddit bells in my head. Wee woo, wee woo.
do it. Typically the alpha male gets to bang all the females. I think it just makes for
Alpha male.
Again, this is just like, this is not the reason why his wife tolerates it. It's because he's simply providing so much benefit that she's okay with it. It's just a trade, right? She's getting the house. She gets the guy primarily to herself. She gets the easy life. She gets like so much, but she doesn't get everything. The thing she has to compromise on is that. You see? So, there you go. Okay, we'll continue in a sec. Let's read this Game Changers by Rolo Tomasi. Whenever I consult teenage guys or young adult men, I'm always reminded about how my game has changed over the course of my lifetime. The 17-year-old Rolo Tomasi would be appalled at the mindset of the 46-year-old Rolo Tomasi. Granted, much of the shock would probably be attributed to the lack of experience my younger self had with regards to the female nature, human nature, and if I'm honest, I suffered from the same naivete most young men do when it comes to judging people's character. In fact, at the time, my belief was that I shouldn't ever judge anyone's character, nor did I, nor should anyone really have the right to. Part of that assumption was from an undeveloped religious learning, but more so it was due to a youthful idealism I've held. I had been conditioned to believe that not only you can't judge a book by its cover, but also that you shouldn't do so and ought to be ashamed for considering it. I'm flattered that people might think I'm some phenomenal interpreter of psychology, the nature of women, intergender relations, and a model upon which men should aspire to in order to get laid and still have a great marriage. It has not always been so. If I have any credibility now, it's not due to my getting everything miraculously right, but because I had everything so horribly wrong more often than not. One of the most valuable lessons I learned in my time studying psychology and personality is that personality is always in flux. Who you are today is not who you will be in another few years. Hopefully that's for the better after learning something and applying it towards your personal progress. But it could equally be a traumatic experience that changes you for the worse. For better or worse, personality shifts, sometimes slowly, sometimes suddenly. And while you may retain aspects of your personality, mannerisms, talents, past experiences, and beliefs into the new iteration of yourself in a new phase in your life, rest assured, you'll not be who you are now at any other time. So game changes. I'm sorry if this sounds all fortune cookie to you at the moment, but it's a necessary preface to understanding how game changes for men, as their life situations and circumstances change during different phases of their lives, and the shifts in their own personalities and learned perceptions change as they age. It's an easy step for me to assume that were I to find myself single tomorrow, I wouldn't approach a game in any degree as if I were the 26-year-old version of myself. Indeed, the primary reason I've involved myself in expanding the preventative medicine series into the next volume of The Rational Male is to help men at different phases of their own development understand what to expect from women and themselves during these periods of their life. About 2 weeks ago, I broached the subject of how games should be a universal knowledge tool for the everyman. My intent in Game and Circumstance was to shine some light on how game and red pill awareness is a benefit for men regardless of their circumstances. As I expected, the comparison of looks versus game was the inevitable discussion in the comment thread, because the presumption is that a man's most evident condition is how he looks, and how women are or are not aroused or attracted to their perception of him. I've written more about this alpha F, beta B, beta bucks arousal dynamic that I can care to review at the moment, but suffice it to say I do place a high importance on a man's physical bearing. However, my intent wasn't to engage in a debate over the importance of looks, but rather that game and red pill awareness is applicable for men of every social or personal condition. Even the short, pudgy guy who empties the trash in your office, he may not have the potential to enjoy bedroom fun with a swimsuit model, but the tenets of game can help him improve his life within his own circumstances. Game beyond PUA. When I was writing The Rational Male, I specifically wrote and published a post on the evolution of game to be included in the book in order to demystify an impression of game which I still think people, particularly the blue pill guys, sometimes intentionally misconstrue as some magical panacea to their girl problems. My definition was thus. For the unfamiliar, just the word game seems to infer deception or manipulation. You're not being real if you're playing a game, so from the outset we're starting off from a disadvantage of perception. This is further compounded when attempting to explain game concepts to a guy who's only ever been conditioned to just be himself with women, and how women allegedly hate guys who play games with them. As bad as that sounds, it's really the explanation of how game is more than the common perception that prompts the discussion for the new reader to have it explained. At its root level, game is a series of behavioral modifications to life skills based on psychological and sociological principles to facilitate better relations between the genders. Game has more applications than just in the realm of intergender relations, but this is my best estimation of game for the uninitiated. Game is the practical application of a new knowledge and increasingly broader awareness of intergender relations, often referred to for convenience as red pill awareness, by myself and others in the broader manosphere. Game begins with red pill awareness and using that awareness to develop game. The body of in-field evidence collected by 15 years of PUA is far more reliable and valid than anything social science has produced on seduction. I would be inclined to agree. As I've written in the past, everyone has game. Every guy you know right now has some idea, methodology, or system of belief by which he thinks he can best put himself in a position of relating to and becoming intimate with a woman. From even the most rank beta plugin to the 14-year-old high school freshman, they have the notion that what he, and by extension all men, should do in order to become intimate with a girl. I described this a bit in Beta Game, where I outlined a beta plan of identifying with women's quote-unquote needs and adopting a feminine primary point of mental origin in order to become more like the target of his affection. What formalized game comes down to is what genuinely works for the betterment of his life. Men don't seek out the manosphere because their beta game works so well for them. I'll admit, this was my own game when I was in my late teens. Like most properly conditioned young men, I subscribed to the idea that men needed to be more empathetic and sensitive to women's experience, rather than putting priority on his own, as the most deductive means to getting a girlfriend who would appreciate my uniqueness for being so quote-unquote in tune with the feminine. If you'd asked me at the time, in the mid-80s, my belief, what was the best way to get the girl, it was to take women at their word, use their advice, be their friend, make them comfortable, sacrifice your own self-importance and support her importance, and mold your incorrect male self into a more perfect feminine ideal. The idea was that the lesser you made yourself, the more you made of her, and the more likely she was to reciprocate intimacy and appreciation. That was my game up until I learned through trial and error that women loathe the man who needs to be instructed on how to actually be more attractive to women. I didn't understand that by subscribing to the spoon-fed feminization game and overtly advocating for it, I was only advertising to the very girls I wanted that I just didn't get it. This was simply the first stage of game changing for me, and I'm fairly certain that you'd read a similar story from most of the manosphere's heaviest hitters. I'm peripherally familiar with the early histories of the likes of Roosh, Nick Krauser, and even Mystery, so don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that the game they practice today would be foreign to their younger selves. When I moved into my rockstar 20s, I began practicing a new form of game, one based on social proof and demonstrating higher value. Of course, I had no idea I was practicing any game at the time. I had reinvented myself and my identity shifted into that of a guy who was spinning plates, being more self-concerned and enjoying the benefit of that social proof and DHV. But if you'd asked me what I'd done to affect that change or how my game was affected by it, I wouldn't have been able to give you an answer then. Game was just instinctual. Now in my married years as a husband and the father of a teenage daughter, and my professional life in the liquor and casino world where I interact with beautiful women on a weekly basis, I still employ game when I don't realize I am. However, that game is the compounded, internalized result of what I've learned and used since the days I believed in the quote-unquote be nice for girls to like you teenage game. Abuse mastery, command presence, and a few other principles became much easier to employ as a mature man, but also a new grasp of how women's lives had a more or less predictable pattern. Thanks to my time studying behavioral psychology, I understand the methods women use to prompt and provoke men. Thanks to my red pill awareness and simple understanding of how women's biology influences hypergamy, I now understand why they do so, and more importantly, how to avoid the traps of falling into the worst aspects of women's dualistic bedroom fun strategy. Alright, back to the video here.
Shows all of his construction toys. They did him dirty with that cut, dude.
A much more relaxed relationship because there's
Indeed.
nothing in my life that I desire that I can't have, and I think that makes me a better husband.
Babe, breakfast!
Ooh, yummy. Smells
Yes, it's pancakes. Please sit.
Starving.
I feel like as a female, I have a different view on sex than a male does. So
Indeed.
for a guy, it's just a fun thing. I know in my heart that he loves me. He comes home to me. He takes really good care of me.
That's right.
I can totally get that some people might think that there's an imbalance in power in our relationship.
I actually had like childhood friends straight out telling me that I've lost my dignity as a woman and I also shouldn't have children because I would be a horrible mom.
Right, and why? Because they're going against like this traditional relationship goes against womanism, right? And Hasan is the same, right? He's the equivalent of that friend that's complaining, right?
Because we do what we do. And then I've actually had people saying, oh my God, I love the openness.
I don't really have anything to say to the people who disprove our lifestyle or whatever, because I don't care about them at all.
Indeed.
So I'm just getting the house ready for my friends. They're coming over. I always tidy up at home and keep the house nice and clean so John is happy and content with the house.
All right, Greg. You're gonna go to the gym.
Alright.
Hope the conversation goes well with your friends. I'll see you when you
Okay,
get back.
I'll see you later.
Not bad.
Hi, babes. Oh, hi,
Cute.
Hello. Hey.
So a big red flag is if the girl's friends are not traditional like her. What they'll try to do is pull her into the crab bucket back, right? They'll try to drag her into misery because they're miserable themselves. So let's watch for that here.
I had some wine for you and some.
So does the husband get to have sex with the friend?
Traveled so far.
Like if the husband wants to have sex with her, like is she gonna be chill with that?
Probably not, but I mean, you don't have to sleep with a girl that's like right in your vicinity, right?
What's going on with your marriage?
Well, you know, that whole traditional housewife kind of thing, and you know, my husband kind of being with other people as well. So you know,
Is that part of the traditional?
no, maybe not that part, but you know, me being a housewife, we never really talked about it though, so you kind of never knew how.
According to her Pornhub page, yes. Wait, what? By the way, every part of this looks like porn. Like the setup looks like porn. Their acting is like porn. She is a porn star.
Oh, really?
It just feels. It's just giving me.
I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, if that's the case, then this is simply I've had my fun, now I'm ready to settle down, right? It's really funny that she says it's really funny that she says her mom raised her to be traditional, when if she's done like any kind of spicy content, she's not a traditional girl and he shouldn't have married her. Should have chosen a different girl. But okay.
Porn vibes. I feel like truly producers basically just, you know, set up the intro part of a porno and we're like, let's go with this. This is good.
Our marriage is working. I do all the cooking, cleaning, whatever.
I know John's great and all, but like, what does he do?
He takes out the trash, fixes with the car, you know, manly things, and I do all the womanly things.
Does that ever make you mad? Like, do you ever feel like it's not fair?
You see what I'm saying? Like, what are the girls implying? They're implying he needs to do more, you need to do less. You're the queen. You should get more, he should get less, right? And it's insulting that the relationship is so, you know, like traditional style. But again, I don't know about the guy's choice in girl if she's a spicy star or if she was.
So I'm totally fine with being.
Bro, why is she mic'd the fuck up, by the way? Like, it's kind of wild how good her microphone is in comparison to the other lady. Maybe I'm focusing on all the wrong things here, but like, it's a weird thing to notice, but she's just straight mic'd the fuck up.
I love being a housewife.
Don't you feel like you spend way too much time doing some cooking and cleaning while you could just outsource it and follow your own passions?
You see? Like, they're just leading her down like the path of misery, right? Why should she not feel good making her husband feel good? You know, like, anyway.
No, I think it's my passion to take care of my husband.
Would he cook you dinner if you were sick? Or
Yeah.
pregnant?
I mean, if I was sick, yeah, but it would probably just order food.
Did you like choose this? Or did it just happen?
It just
Bro, I love outsource it. Outsource it. Yeah. Like, even if you're like no distribution of labor there, just outsource it. But also, why are they having this conversation? Like, it's the first time they've ever had this conversation. Like,
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's got to be staged. All right, let's go on to the Reddit post here. From Relationship Advice, posted 6 hours ago. So, she's 23 and fiance is 23. My fiance is upset I'm letting a guy stay over after a home invasion. Okay, well, this is a red flag. Yeah, and she unilaterally made this choice. My fiance is currently over... Okay. Yep. This is how cheating happens. All right. My fiance is currently overseas for a month. My house was recently broken into and it really scared me. I was frozen in fear and the guy came into my room and my heart started racing. He told me he wasn't going to hurt me and just wanted money and food. I called my fiance and he told me that he wants to come home, but he literally can't leave because legally he needs to stay in the country because he's selling a house and a lot needs to be done. He suggested I invite friends over. I'm fine with that, but the thing is all my friends are small females and they all have jobs and they're skinny, and if my fiance was here, I'd feel safe because he's bigger than me and is able to fight a fair amount. I asked the neighbor's son if he minds maybe watching the house as I slept for some money, and he agreed for a month until my fiance gets there because he's tall and he's a trainer of mixed martial arts. On the first day he showed up with a machete and said he got this. It helped me sleep well because I feel safe knowing he's in the other room and got my back. I told my fiance about this and he doesn't like it at all. But he's just an 18-year-old kid. He's like a baby. What can I do next? So notice, the guy leaves. Who does she immediately go to? She goes to a mixed martial artist 18-year-old hot guy, right? And nothing can possibly happen, right? Again, if he's protecting her, she feels safe. That's respect. Right? And they have tension because tension is the husband or fiance isn't happy with the situation, so that's tension. And then they have the logistics. They're alone in her house at night. You see what I'm saying? One thing can easily lead to another. All right, what's the 233 upvotes? Wait, what country is this? A machete was such an unexpected detail. Was thinking America until machete was said. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah, literally, one of the people said, I would feel safer sleeping in a friend's place than getting a guy with a machete to come in and stay there. What? Yeah, 212 upvotes. What does he expect you to do? Does your fiance have any friends that can stay over? You do whatever makes you feel safe. Personally, after having my own home broken into, I couldn't sleep there for at least a month and had a new security system put in. Yeah. Well, you could have hired a buff 24-year-old bodyguard from a professional company. If he cannot be there, he has to be willing to let it go. Your safety is more important than his feelings. Yeah, I mean, personally, what I would do is I would get the girl to stay with my friends, right? At one of their houses temporarily, right? And I think they'd accept that, even though it's kind of uncomfortable for them. Yeah, as opposed to getting a buff 24-year-old basically like fighter to stay in the house. It seems weird to me. All right. Anyway, guys, we're going to end the video there. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, hit that sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content. Patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just go there and subscribe to okay, so I've changed. It's not the Nebula tier anymore. I've changed it. Now we have 3 different parts on the Patreon. So we have deleted videos from YouTube. We have that. We have scientific articles with commentary, in evolutionary biology, psychology, whatever. And we have literature, so like books written by people that I think you need to read. And I read them out loud so you can listen to them like an audiobook. So right now I'm working on the audiobook and the scientific articles, but I have a bunch of stuff posted for the deleted videos, okay? All right. So there you go. You can also drop me a donation like Tom M. Shout outs to him. Thank you so much for watching the video, especially if you took the time out of your busy day to listen to the end. I do appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. By the way, the Patreon is patreon.com/theheliosblog. I totally forgot to mention it. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.